and our captions. Okay. I think I have the captions. Is anybody seeing the captions? Oh, here it is. Show captions. Geez, you'd think I'd not done this before. Okay, so I'm going to say a prayer and then we're going to do our visualization for America. And then we're going to jump into this puppy because it's full of goodness. So placing my hands on my heart, taking that deep cleansing breath of love and gratitude. So incredibly grateful to be here with these precious souls, grateful for our willingness to retrieve all the learning from every reading, every experience, every thought that we have. So grateful and thankful for our willingness to do this deep healing work and our desire and willingness to live the teachings of Jesus through A Course in Miracles. We're grateful and thankful to know our innocence is the truth of our being. We're grateful for all of our earthly and heavenly helpers, all of our mighty companions. We ask that they join us as we gather today to walk with us, to talk with us, to inspire us, to bless us. And we are grateful to be open-hearted, open-minded, and fully receptive to the all good of God, knowing that it is ours right here and right now, and we are willing to see it and claim it. And we're grateful to share the benefits of all that we have and all that we are with Mother Earth and all her beings, because we are one. In grace and gratitude, we let it be, and so it is. Amen. So we're also going to do our visualization. Let's get Mr. Johnny singing. So take a nice deep breath. Focus on projecting our collective energy out to around March of 2025, anywhere in America. We're seeing and feeling the fresh air, hearing the birds singing, seeing people smiling, because everything went perfectly for the most beneficial outcome for the United States and the world regarding the US presidential election. And we are not merely seeing it. We are feeling it. We are fully embodying it with every cell, fiber, and function of our being. We are employing all of the senses. We are standing fully engaged in the precise situation that we wish to manifest. And we know that this is not a future event because time and space are not real. This is happening right now in this moment. We're looking around. We're seeing everything is good. There is no pressure. There is no worry. There is no concern. We are centered and fully in our power. There is no fear, no worry, or anything else. Just goodness and blessings and love. Take in a nice deep breath and release this energy into the world to be absorbed and to expand. Whenever you are ready, you can open your eyes and come back into this moment, this meeting right here and right now. So we are still in chapter 3, Sane Perception, section 3, Atonement without Sacrifice. Gosh, there's so many points that I want to make. This was a longer section than some of the ones that we've read recently. I'm going to just start at the beginning. There is one more point which must be perfectly clear before any residual fear, which you may still associate with miracles, becomes entirely groundless. The crucifixion did not establish the atonement. The resurrection did. This is a point which many very sincere Christians have misunderstood. Nobody who is free of the sacrifice fallacy could possibly have made this mistake. If the crucifixion is seen from an upside down point of view, it certainly does appear as if God permitted and even encouraged one of his sons to suffer because he was good. Many very devoted ministers preach this very day, or preach this every day. This particularly unfortunate interpretation, which actually arose of the combined projection of a large number of my own would-be followers, has led many people to be bitterly afraid of God. This particularly anti-religious concept happens to enter into many religions, and this is neither by chance nor coincidence. The real Christian would have to pause and ask, how could this be? Is it likely that God himself would be capable of the kind of thinking which his own words have clearly stated is unworthy of his children? So that was actually the first two paragraphs. And I just like so many times I can recall going to Catholic church in particular, but even when I was going to, more New Thought type churches, that Jesus died for our sins, and that's just bullshit.
Where are you reading? Oops, because I couldn't find that. What you're reading? Chapter 3.
Chapter 3, section 3. It's page 111.
Oh, section 3. I thought it was section 1.
Yeah, atonement without sacrifice. So, and in 24 below it, it says, his own words seem to refer to the Bible, particularly the Gospels, with their emphasis on loving even one's enemies. Matthew 5:44 and Luke 6:35. Loving the enemy is clearly incompatible with punishing the good. And it just, to me, it just really sends home the message that everyone is innocent. Everyone is worthy of love. And anyone that we are judging outside of that realm is our own judgments and perception. And as long as we are unwilling to see ourselves as purely innocent and others as purely innocent, we will be blind to the Christ light. So, anyways, that's what I got from that. Go ahead, Carla. You were already unmuted. There you go.
I know. So I don't want to say you're wrong, that's for sure, but I want to address something you shared. Is it who thinks that who judges? It's not the true self, it's not us. It is not, it's the body, it's the separate self, some call it the ego. The ego isn't bad or wrong, but that's the misidentification that I think really is challenging because we're in a body. We have to do things. We have to eat, we pee, pay bill, whatever, all that stuff. And we think it's us. It's not. It's actually ego doing that stuff, because ego is I say it's the body. It is, but it isn't. It's my thought is this. It comes to that when we're in our incorporate self, the ego is within us. And when we embody, it's activated. And you think, because we're one with God, then we cry, we pee, we do all this stuff as babies, We're learning how to do stuff. Because who learns? It's the ego that learns. The true self knows. And it's very, I don't say it's challenging, but to live this life and do the things of the body, but not that we aren't that. So, because I didn't plan this, but I don't even know if this is appropriate, but I think I called it When I Feel Impatient, but I think it should be called The Truth Is. When I feel impatient, is it loving? Is it peaceful? No. Our goal in this body is to stay peaceful, not force peace. Maybe at first, choosing peace is helpful and needed, but that is because you think you have a choice. But at some point in the choosing, you will know there is only one choice. And that choice, love, peace, is all there is. It's all you desire. You realize it's who you are. You may see the impatience, the body, the body, may even feel the impatience. But the truth is, you no longer believe it is real. That's it. Thank you. So we have experiences like your experience too, Oregon. Maybe it's challenging at times. I mean, but it is kind of the ego that learns it's the body. We're actually merging the body self we think is something real with the true self, and we're merging them together. So experiences is where that merging occurs, because as we learn to choose peace, to allow peace, and even though we feel something different, even though we feel challenge or feel doubt, that is where the merging happens. And I feel that you had a great merging. And
Yeah, thanks, Carla. Yeah, I know the body and the personality wanted to resist what was happening, but my higher self knew that it's happening for a purpose. I may not see that purpose right now. I may not be enjoying this experience, but it is what it is. Yeah. Anybody else like to share they got from the reading or from our conversation here, or anything else going on for the last 3 weeks? I also realized this morning we passed our 200th episode. The last episode that we got together and recorded was our 200th. And I just like completely went over my head. So we're over the 200s now.
Well, that's really good. We actually went through the other book in less than 200 episodes. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, if nobody else has anything to share, I do have other things that I highlighted that I can talk about. So, in paragraph 5, he says, "Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord," is strictly a karmic viewpoint. It is a real misperception of truth by which you assign your own evil past to God. The evil consciousness or conscience from the past has nothing to do with God. He did not create it, and he did not maintain it. He does not maintain it. God does not believe in karmic retribution at all. His divine mind does not create that way. He does not hold the evil deeds of a person even against himself. Is it likely that he would hold them against me? And then down below in 27, it says in Hebrews 10:22 of the Bible, let us draw near with a true heart and full assurance of faith, having our hearts sprinkled from an evil conscience and our bodies washed with pure water. The evil conscience here is a conscience plagued by one's past sins. But the karmics thing, I mean, yes, I feel like the experience that I'm having in this lifetime is a culmination of uh, ancestral habits, patterns, lifetimes, and past lifetimes. And since time and space aren't real, that's not real either. But I just decided that I'm going to come down here and play with this version of this personality, and that's okay. But the only thing that is true is unconditional love. So, I can play with being irritated at myself for forgetting to put masks in my bag. I can play with being irritated at my sister-in-law for trying to tell me how I should be taking care of my husband. um, Even though I know that she was coming from a place of fear and feeling completely um, like powerless to do anything to help him. Um, none of that stuff is true. The truth is unconditional love. So I unconditionally love my husband. I unconditionally love my sister-in-law, no matter what she ever says to me, and no matter what points of view we have that seem to differ. And I unconditionally love myself, even the self that forgot the masks, even the self that reacted in anger towards her in the moment, even the self that was disappointed because we spent all that money and effort and time and energy and didn't get to go to the damn wedding we went out there for. So yeah, the only thing that's true is unconditional love. And I'm just down here playing in this playground of weird and wild and wonderful and weary experiences. Go ahead, Carla. And then Paul, I think, unmute. Go ahead.
Yeah, something happened. Some string came up. So I like that you're remembering to laugh. You laughed when you said it, where oftentimes what happens is we explain, say what happened like it's real, like it's something, important. And I like that. So I just wanted to, I haven't read this section. I was in the wrong section, but I just kind of came to my eye, whatever, paragraph 7, where it says, God himself is not symbolic. He is fact. And I just wanted to stay there, kind of bask in that. Like, we think like the stories of what happened and how we feel and all this stuff, we act like that's fact, you know? But I wonder if only, it doesn't say that only God is fact. I wonder, and it says the atonement too is totally without symbolism. And so it's words. That's what we're using. We're using words like it's fact. And words are just symbolic. And so I don't know, I like that. I like the simple statements that the Course has because it doesn't have a whole ton of them. God himself is not symbolic. He is fact. I don't know, I just like this shit. So, thanks.
Thank you, Carla. Paula.
Thanks, Carla. Well, I highlighted on chapter 4 in the middle. This hurts me more than it hurts you, and feels exonerated in beating a child. Can you believe that the Father really thinks this way? Is it so essential that all such thinking be displaced that we must be very sure that nothing of this kind remains in your mind? I was not punished because you were bad. The holy benign lesson which the atonement teaches is wholly lost if it is tainted with the kind of distortion in any form. And I used to think, this is God's will. Every time something happens, this is God's will. God doesn't will us to be sick. God doesn't will all this stuff to happen. If God is a loving God, I never believed that for so many years. God is a loving God. God wouldn't want some of the stuff that happens. And one of the realizations that I've had is that I finally believe and truly took it into my life is that I came here to learn not to be a victim and to not be abandoned. And all these people in my life have agreed to come in to my life to teach me that lesson. And what a relief that is. And I just remind myself of that all the time. And this past couple weeks was the anniversary of Rudy's murder. And I didn't feel, of course, his twin sister put something on the Facebook and everybody blah, blah, blah. And I was thinking to myself, I don't believe that Rudy is dead. I don't believe that he could die. I don't believe that all this stuff happened to him. I believe that he agreed to come in this world to teach me a lesson, which brought me closer than I ever could be to God. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be where I am today. And I thought, well, how can I say, I don't want to put down anybody's beliefs and all that. So I just said, I feel Rudy in my life all the time. And I just remember his laughter and makes me laugh every time I think about him. And I'll never be able, he'll always be in my heart. And that's all I said. I didn't have to say, oh my God, this is so unfair. All these stories that we had about it. It was really growth for me, but I really believe that. I believe that these people that I felt I had such trauma over agreed to come into my life for me to heal this victimhood it's my core issue. I thought it was unworthiness, but even before that, I was a victim, always. Since I was born, I thought I was a victim. So it was just really a big awareness for me. And how many times did I say that to my kids? This is hurting me more than it hurts you. Oh my God. Oh my God. As I threw a shoe at them. My son said, my mom is the only person I know that could, from the top of the stairs, hit me with the shoe right on the mark. Yeah. So anyways, yeah. So I don't want to be a punishing mother either. I don't want to be a punishing God. And I have to do this moment by moment. I can be in this class and feel this and know this and go out of this door and life hits me and I forget. Eh. So I'm working on that. Moment by moment, I'm going to remind myself of that. So, and I have to tell you, Linda, when I was on the cruise, I was packing to come home. And I thought, I really should wear a mask because on the way to the cruise, people were coughing and all around me. And I thought, I really should wear a mask. But guess what? I packed it, but I didn't put it on. And when I got home, I was sicker than I've ever been in my life. But you know what? I accepted it. I didn't say, oh God, what did I do wrong? What is this bringing up for me? What do I need to forgive? Blah, blah, blah. I just said, this is what it is. I'm going to lay here and I'm going to be this way and this too shall pass. I didn't judge it, whatever. So, yeah.
Yeah. Thank you, Paula. Thank you for the blessing of your learning from Rudy and the blessing of your learning from COVID. Like, thank you, COVID. Thank you for teaching me all the things that you taught me. So, yeah, isn't it funny? We have that passing thought of maybe you should wear a mask.
Yeah, I did think that. And then you know what? And I just thought I had a near-death experience. That's what I felt like I was having. I was so sick.
Wow.
I didn't see God or anybody when I was dying. I was just, yeah. It was
Yeah,
just funny though. I can laugh now, but it wasn't funny at the time.
exactly. And that's how I was able to forgive myself for lashing out at my sister-in-law because she stopped by the hotel that we were staying in because, of course, weirdly enough, the day that we were supposed to fly out was the day that all the airlines canceled almost all of the flights because of that crazy IT glitch. And so we were so blessed to be able to get a hotel because like all the hotels were filled. And the woman that was walking in front of us that was helping to drag my bags as I was pushing Rudy in the wheelchair because he collapsed while we were waiting in the line for 2 hours. She worked for the military. She's not in the military, but we were sitting by her then after we found out that we weren't going to be able to get out until Monday. And she heard me. I called a couple of different hotels and nobody had any openings. And she's like, here, I got this phone number from a source or whatever in the military, call them. And they had a room. So, I mean, what a freaking blessing, because I can't imagine like sleeping on the floor at the hotel or at the airport for 3 days with COVID. It would have been a nightmare. But anyway, so the night before my sister-in-law came to see us for the last time before we left, I was throwing up. I was so sick. Like all night long, I was sick. And so I didn't sleep well and I was irritated and I felt like crap. And I'm, working our way down to this outdoor area so that we can visit with her. And, it started off innocent enough. We were just talking about the wedding and how it went and what happened while with everybody there. And I think she was realizing how, because Rudy was way worse than me because his health is already compromised because of his kidney issues. And I think she got scared is what I think. I think she was scared by how weak and unsteady he was. And she just was like, Linda, you need to make sure that he's eating right. Linda, you need to make sure that he's exercising. Linda, you need to do this and you need to do that. And I wasn't in my right mind because I was feeling so crappy. And I was like, Martha, I'm doing the fucking best that I can. I mean, I was so like intensely like, like, stop telling me what to do. That was what was going through my mind was, and I know I've heard Jennifer say this before, when people are throwing judgments at her, you know what you should do? You should step the F back because I'm going to come after you with guns ablazing, you know, like that was the way that I feel where there was so much rage in me. And so, but I was like, I had a little bit of regret afterwards, obviously, because that's not my personality. That's not my true personality. But I was very vulnerable in that moment. And so I could forgive myself easily and effortlessly. And I reached out to her and I let her know, I'm so sorry that I attacked you like that. And I'm so sorry that I know that you were coming from a place of love, of being concerned about your brother. And, I apologized to her. So, and my intention is that I will call her because she hasn't responded to my text, but I will call her. There's just a lot going on right now still. But yeah, I know I don't have any judgments against myself. I don't feel guilty. I don't feel angry towards her. I don't like, there's no, it's completely neutral. It's a thing that happened and it's completely neutral. And that is not like, oh my God, if this was a few years ago, I would be holding on to that and punishing myself with it over and over and over again. But because the only thing that's real is unconditional love, I have no judgments of myself. I have no judgments of her. It's a blessing. Go ahead, Carla.
But how about your judgments of Rudy?
I have no judgments of him either because so we've been dealing with this. He first got sick like 2010.
Mm-hmm.
And oh my gosh, at the beginning, I was trying to make him do all the things.
Right.
And we were miserable for years. I would try to make him do the things. He wouldn't do the things. And I'd be angry at him and resentful. And he would be angry at me. And now I'm just like, you know what? He is exactly who he is. And I still go back into that occasionally, a moment of he should be doing something differently. And I will even say it to him sometimes, you really should be eating vegetables, really aren't just a garnish, honey. You really should be getting up off of that recliner and walking around or doing something. But I don't really feel that way anymore. I really feel like his experience is his experience, and my experience is to back off and let him have his experience and have my own experience without punishing myself or judging myself. And occasionally still, fear will come up and rear its ugly head, and I will have a human moment, and that's okay. He does too. We've been together for 40 plus years now, and it's not worth it.
Mm-hmm. What a blessing.
Yeah,
What a blessing. This is all teaching us all a lesson, that's for sure.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Thank you, Paula.
I like what you just said, a human moment. It's like, can I take that? Can you?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Nancy Gale, it reminds me of that when we were in Ascension Pathway class a few weeks ago, and Jennifer was talking, excuse me, about, this is probably the most I have talked in so long. Jennifer was talking about Hawkins and he was saying something about how we don't oh, here it is. Immune issues are an intolerance of my own humanness. And I'm like, oh, that makes so much sense. That makes so much sense because, you know, I'm having a human experience, obviously, or I wouldn't be thinking that I'm here. So if I'm judging anything about my life, anything about myself, anything about what's happening outside of me or inside of me, my emotions, whatever, my mental state, it's me like resisting and pushing back against it. And that just takes way too much energy anymore. I'm just like, just not interested.
I don't. Will you say that again? No,
The,
like in Star Trek, resistance is futile. It's like
exactly.
it's like I'm
Bored.
saying because wait, I mean, I'm thinking that because what you just said, what Jennifer said. We were talking what was it yesterday? What's today?
Mhm. In
They,
Stop Playing Small.
investing your energy, your daily
Yes.
energy. And I'm just keep going back to chemistry and the energy or whatever it is. And I'm having trouble. I must be in a totally different place these days. Thanks to or because of all this stop playing small stuff. I'm in a different place. I'm reading everything. I'm looking at all these pages. All I see is judgment. It's like over here in 2, it says the real Christian would have to pause and ask, "What do you mean, the real Christian?" It's like, and it's like, is it likely that God Himself would be capable of kind of a thing of its own, if which His own words have clearly stated? Who said that these are His own words? Oh, I forgot. Jesus is writing this. But this is to us who are in this human space with all this human ego. You want me to shut up? I'm gonna
No,
totally
no.
in.
Finish your thought,
And
honey.
it's like, oh my God, I'm totally in a different place.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I'm not gonna fit in here. That's well, I asked her, I said, what is happening to me? From the inside out, I am like the whole. So now, do I want to stick with this healing thing or because I'm not going to fit in?
No, that's not true.
What?
That's not true that you won't fit in. Because you being in your right and loving heart and mind will know intuitively when to say something and when not to say something. So you will hear people that you love or people that you're connecting with out in the world, which remember, there is only one. So there is no people out in the world. You will hear them say things that like seem normal, like Paula's daughter, having a moment with the anniversary of the passing of her brother. She's grieving him because it's the anniversary of the passing of her brother. But Paula's not going to tell her that, honey, you're
Oh,
wrong.
right. Right. I know
Right?
that. I know. So it's like, that's like with Amy, it's like, well, her husband is this minister person, Bible, that's it, Bible thing. And it's like, I haven't since she married him. And it's like, and actually when Gino died, he was the one that did her, with the service.
Yes.
It was beautiful. It was
Yeah.
absolutely beautiful. And I said, wait a minute, who is this guy? And it's like, Um, so it's like I'm feeling he's this minister, and they have their little ministry, the house, the Victory House, and he writes the music, he plays the guitar, and they have the band, and he's recorded CDs, and he's got I don't follow Facebook, but he's doing well according to what they're saying. It's like he's saying, "Ooh, if we get any more," and I'm thinking he would be, but it's the attitude that I mean, it would mushroom. They love Amy. Everybody loves Amy. She's this person. She's been like this since she was a baby. Um and and it's like but his doctrinal, what do you call it? His tie to
Mhm.
that system of religion and belief about God and Jesus. And it's like I keep thinking his voice when he sings, his voice it's like it's in his voice. I can hear it. And it's like if he had changed, that's a guarantee. If he saw the light the way we see the light, his whole voice would change and his music would change.
Yeah, but you know what, Nancy Gail?
What? Tell me.
He will see the light when you see the light in him because he is not outside of you.
But how but I don't ever talk religion. We don't because
You don't have to.
I
You
know, but it's like just because I'm here and there's 10 miles away and I see the light in him, is that
Yes,
enough? Okay.
that's totally enough.
Okay.
That's totally enough. And then just knowing that he is coming from his loving heart to the
His
best of his ability.
ability, right. Okay, keep talking.
And so just trusting that he is as awake as he can possibly be
Mhm.
in this life experience right now. And
Yeah.
you know that you are feeling like you're more awake and that you don't have those like fundamental Christian
Mhm.
beliefs anymore. That doesn't make him wrong or bad. It just means that he is in that
His
space right now, and that's okay.
No, I want them to be I want them to be happy, and I want them to their thing to flourish, and and it's
Yeah, but
like, oh,
as soon as you tell him, I don't think you're happy, and here's why.
oh no, I don't ever talk do
No,
that.
but in your mind, that's what you're
Oh,
saying. I want him to be happy, but he's not happy, and here's why he's not happy. What he's hearing, what he's feeling in the energetic realms is your judgment of him.
but he's okay, but like on what is it? Well, he posts daily all these things on Facebook, and his opinion, some of it, he's always sitting there with his book, and so that's what people see and then he's putting his opinion, his teaching
Yeah.
with it, and then all these people that telling him he's wrong. They're telling him he's wrong. Who do you think you? I mean, this is what they're saying, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't want you to experience that,
Yeah, it's
or
okay because you know what? Haters gonna hate.
no,
There's always
it's
gonna be people, no matter how enlightened or awake you are, that are gonna have a different opinion. And it's okay. It's okay. We can have different opinions. We can have different political views. We can have different religious views. It's okay. It's just different flavors of ice cream.
Mhm.
yeah, I'm struggling with it because it's like it's so different when you see the truth. And it's just like it's just I'm in this sadness mode because life could everybody it's like they my father even I tried, when I was in the Southern Baptist church, I had I was like, oh, you're supposed to, but you're supposed to evangelize. You're supposed to, convert everybody, and in their face. They don't want to hear it, but all that, and I knew that. So here I was in this. Okay, the point. Even in the past, I never did that.
Mm-hmm.
I never did that. And then and I was watching and listening to other people, and then how the reactions of other people, um and then the pastor would, somebody would come, and the pastor would send me to talk to him, and I'd go out, and we built this beautiful church. I would go out there and listen to this, and I'd say, and I was me, knowing and believing I'm not doing that. What he thinks, I'm just not. And then I would listen to the person, and they say, I really don't feel like I really need to go back to my church where my dad is and everything. I said, that's fine, go. You have
Right.
to be. And then I went and told him. That's what I did. And she went back to her own church. And I said, I went and told him that. And it's like, didn't seem to phase him anything. But anyways, but then I remember being at my dad's house one time, and he's I started talking to him about, what was it? He somehow the Bible came up, and I must have initiated something, which never did in my entire life. And he said, unbeknownst to me, he said, he says, I have I have trouble. Every time I start reading the Bible, I start with Genesis and start in the beginning, and then he says, and then I get to the begot go, the soul begot go, so and so begot this one, this one, this one, this one, and all that long line. He said, I stop. And at the time, it's like, I'm thinking, start in the New Testament. Forget all that.
Yeah.
Go to the New Testament. Anyways, but that my father, and it was like, oh my gosh, my mother never said boo about anything. She's
Yeah.
the teacher, she's the secretary, she's this and this, and it's like, and here's my father. Never, he didn't go to church with us. My brother hardly ever went either.
Yeah, but you know what? He's not here anymore. And
I know, and I'm
so
thinking,
he's enlightened where he is.
yeah. I'm just all this new memory stuff's coming up, and it's like I'm
Yeah.
thinking, and then I get so sad. It's like, oh my goodness,
There's
if we'd
nothing to
been
be sad
allowed
about.
to
I mean,
connect.
feel sad for as long as you want to. Feel sad for as long as you want to. But yeah, there's nothing to feel sad about. I'm going to move on so Carla can speak because she's been waiting so patiently.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, go ahead.
All right.
Sorry, go ahead,
That's
Carla.
okay. No, nothing to be sorry about. Go ahead, Carla.
Okay, I probably forgot everything I was going to do, but love allows everything. It's even sadness, even whatever comes up, it's just a feeling coming up. It's not real. So let's see. I think uh, I started. I've been playing this game, and it's really kind of amazing. When I started like 3 or 5 years ago, whatever it was, I used to be very judgy of the other players and stuff. And I mean, I can let people go. I sometimes drop people from the team, but it's not because I'm judging them. It's because I love everybody else. Because I want to support them. And so dropping that person it's not hating, it's loving someone else. And so and this is what and so I started doing this quote of the day, and I call it the unknown quote of the day. I think I posted this in the ACIM group, but I'll read it again. Here is the test to find whether your mission on earth is finished. If you're alive, it isn't. It's like we believe we're breathing. We're not. We're being breathed by our higher self. But the energy, once our higher self leaves us, that's when whatever it appears like we die, right? We don't die, but just whatever you feel, Nancy Yale, just allow it to rise and let it go. It's a feeling, it's not permanent. If it's not permanent, it's not real. Feel it, let it go. Even believe it if you want to for a minute, but it is like, I mean, life is what life is. We're just the higher self, whatever. I'm just happy to be alive. And it's not that I'm in a body, the body's alive. I'm just happy. And that's what we're here to do, is to practice choosing peace. And whatever we're doing, burning up or throwing up or whatever. I mean, we feel the feelings, let them go. It's when we hold on to them, it's like we're trying to make them real. It's the holding on. Life flows. Let it go. That's part of the flow of life. I don't know what to say that stuff, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Yes,
thanks.
Carla, what you just said, holding on, the holding on is, that's what the resistance is. I'm holding, and it's like, look at this. That's all energy. That's all where the energy is. And it's like, well, if I'm doing this, I can't do anything else. Right? Go. Now I can do something else, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, thank you. Thank you, Carla. Yeah, I saw you did post it a few weeks ago. You did.
Thank you, Carla. Thanks, Nancy Gale.
Can I share something else?
Quickly, we just have a few minutes left.
Yeah, I was thinking, like we're talking, like I just had this, the visual thing is like, wait a minute. I was laying in bed and I honestly was like, wait a minute. I listened to the lesson thing last night, like 5 or 6 times I said, ooh. But anyways, all of a sudden I'm thinking, wait a minute. And it said, we are an extension of God's love. I said, wait a minute, if I'm an extension, it's like I'm still attached. I'm still part. Then I went to looking at a puzzle. Puzzle has all these pieces, but each piece is made of the same material, the same substance. It's just cut out, but I say, okay, so there's one of us, and it's love. That's it. That's the substance I was created from. So it's like you do pottery, you throw a bowl or make whatever out of the clay. So they should call it clayery, not pottery. But anyways, but it's the substance. So okay, whatever's going to help me, remember. I'm thinking, okay, so I'm an extension of God. That means reaching out. It doesn't mean throwing a piece and throwing me out away from it. I said, so whatever that's my substance. That's who I am. I forgot the point, but anyways, it's like it made sense. I said, oh, okay. So that whatever God is, that's what all of that is what he is. It is spirit, but that spirit, it's not material.
Right.
It's spirit. And
Exactly.
that's in this spirit, but we're still there, but this spirit. Anyways, put it together anyway. Seriously, I mean, but that just blew my mind. I said, "Oh my gosh, that was so, so wonderful." At the moment, I'm expanding on that. It's like, so if I am that's my substance.
Mm-hmm.
Can't change that.
Mm-hmm.
Can't do anything to it because it's not material. It's just, it's like what you were talking about, Carla. It's like, ooh, okay.
Everything is energy.
Yes.
Yeah. We are all
Oh, I know. I did with the cloud. It's the cloud, the air. You can't you can't even see it. Like a cloud you can see, but you can't touch it. You can try, but you can't. And you can't hold air in your hand. You can't, it just like flows. With the wind, you can feel the wind and all that, but you can't, it's not material.
right. And
It's
it's
like,
made up of all different kinds of molecules, the same molecules that make up our bodies.
oh yeah, that's true.
So we are not
Oh,
separate from the air.
right.
We are not separate from the water. We are not separate from space. We are all carbon, just like everything else is carbon.
Yeah, and the carbon or the air flow, we breathe it in.
Yeah.
Like you were talking about flowing through.
Yes.
It flows through. All right. I can go on forever for this. Thank you.
Yeah, you're
Thanks for
welcome.
everything.
Yeah. All right. So next week, I'm sure we'll get more folks here. It's summertime is tough because people are on vacation and stuff. So next week we will be continuing in chapter 3, which is Sane Perception, section 4, Innocent Perception. We are innocent. And I'm going to finish us off. Yeah. I'm going to finish us off by reading our Pathways of Light insights for today's lesson, which is lesson number 212. I am not a body. I am free. I am still as God created me. I have a function God would have me fill. The function of love is to extend love. God created me as love, and so my function is to extend love. I don't extend love when I don't remember what I am. I don't remember what I am when I attempt to replace what I am with illusions of separation from what I am. I am set free when I am willing to lay these illusions down. When the ego thoughts are quieted, God, which is love, is there. God is the only reality. God is freedom. God is joy. God is oneness and love. If I am not recognizing this, I will feel bound and limited and separate from my identity. In truth, God is my constant companion because I am God's extension. It is only when I return to my original function of extending love that I find the freedom and peace that is in me. I get what I desire and focus on. Today, I seek only to fulfill my function as an extension of God's love. Only this brings me happiness. Only this sets me free. Letting go of illusions and extending only love is my function today. The Course says forgiveness is love's reflection in this world. Thus, forgiveness is the way I fulfill my function in this world. Forgiveness is letting go of illusions. It clears the way for love to be extended. It frees me to be the love I was created to be. Illusions are vain because they have no real effect. But if I believe illusions are real, I will believe reality is unreal. And so the reality of love will be lost to me. It is impossible to believe in two realities. Whatever I believe to be real blocks everything else from my awareness. If I want to experience the peace and joy and love of God, I must let go of my belief in another reality in which God, love, is not welcome. This world was made as a place where God is not welcome. To be free of it, I must forgive myself for imagining a world without God, and I must forgive God for not giving me what he could not give. God could not give me special love because God is given equally by its very nature. When I experience true forgiveness, I experience an outpouring of love, a sense of unity and joining with my brother. I see us as the same, and my heart is filled with joy and gratitude. When I fall back into old habits of judgment, that jealous feeling fades, but the memory of it reminds me I really do want to fulfill the function God has given me. That is where I find freedom and joy. Each experience of forgiveness strengthens my resolve to take every thought of condemnation, every judgment to the Holy Spirit, for him to shine his loving light upon it so I can see the reality beyond the illusion I mistakenly believed. Thus, I fulfill the function God would have me fill, and I receive his gift of happiness, which I cannot help but share with everyone. True happiness is sharing. Holy Spirit, help me see with your vision today that I might remember the freedom of being the love I was created to be. Amen, brother. All righty.
Can I say one more thing? I forgot what the whole point was. Listening to Jennifer said something about God, or God is the presence of God. Well, God is always present,
Yes.
of course, because that's the substance of our being. God is the substance of it, so it's always right here. And I thought,
Exactly.
oh, cool.
No matter where you go, there you are.
Yes, there he is, because that's who I am.
Exactly.
And you
Wow.
take yourself with you.
Yep.
Wait, what? What'd you say?
And you take yourself with you wherever you are. There he is.
Thank you, Paula.
Love you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you, ladies. Bye.
Bye.
See you next week.
Yes.